Hello there, and welcome to another Wine Steward video. We are coming to you from the Wine Steward in downtown Pleasanton, reaching out through the airwaves, or whatever waves carry a YouTube video to tell you about what's going on this week and next week and so on. Like what's happening at the Wine Steward. Not everybody headed off to Croatia on vacation yet, so with many of you still in town, we will enjoy having you upstairs and on our sales floor. Yeah, come in and buy something, will you? It's been a very flat year for all wine retailers, just so you know. It has been quiet. It has been, especially for the wine shop people, a quieter year. And so think about that. Think about the small business that you cherish. If you want to keep us around, I don't want to sound desperate or anything, but really, if you want to keep us around, keep us around, come on in, do the Wine Steward thing, will you? Here we are, I'm telling you about different ways you can participate with us. Right here, boom. Look at this big fat ass bottle of Pinot Noir. Where's it from? Do you think maybe St. Lucia Islands or somewhere else where they make fat ass Pinot Noirs? No, this is Willamette Valley Pinot Noir, Oregon. It's a kind of a, what I call a vanity size bottle, but this wine within the bottle deserves to have beautiful embellishment in packaging form. This is Holocene. What's over here? This is Weather Eye. What can I not show you because it hasn't arrived yet in sample form? Another brand called Force Majeure. You've probably never heard of any of those. We've carried a little bit of Holocene on our shelf in the kind of slightly high-end Pinot Noir sector. We've never had Weather Eye because it's a brand new project. Force Majeure, the bottle I cannot show you. It is here occasionally on the Wine Steward shelf. All of these wines are from the Northwest. And we just did a wine event upstairs, a presentation style tasting slash sales event up here featuring Washington State wines. What we did not know at that time, a month and a half ago, was that Todd Alexander was coming to town, just like Santa. Well, you're saying, well, I've heard of Santa, but who the hell is Todd Alexander? Hold on, let me have a sip of this beautiful Rioja sparkling wine, and I will tell you, I need inspiration. Who is Todd Alexander? Todd Alexander has done a lot of different stuff before he became a winemaker, but once he finally decided he loved wine, and the woman that he married who lives in the Napa Valley, he became a Napa Valley winemaker. He worked at Cade and Plumpjack and then became the winemaker for Bryant family. Yeah, that cult wine that costs well over $400 or $500 or $600 a bottle these days. He was the dude making that. And then what happened? He got the bug. He got the Northwest bug. He headed north. He forsook the world famous Napa Valley for regions that make wine that is just as good, but of a different style, that simply are not yet as renowned. In other words, the Willamette Valley of Oregon, and especially the eastern Washington State area. And I say especially because Holocene will be represented by Todd Alexander himself by two bottlings. So yes, next Wednesday night, we're gonna have two different Holocene Pinot Noirs and then leave the Willamette Valley, having had two of its greatest wines, and go to the eastern side of Washington State, which is very unlike the Willamette Valley of Oregon. It rains there about 50 inches plus per year. It rains in eastern Washington State at the amount of perhaps 6 inches per year. So yes, it's high desert back there. It grows a totally different grape, and that's where Todd is making his Weather Eye. I guess I'm being confusing. Basically, we've got the dude in town next Wednesday night. He's going to be on our mezzanine showing wines from his Holocene brand, his Weather Eye brand, and Force Majeure. So 3 different brands, all made by this 100-point winemaker. Yes, not one, but a few of his wines have actually been rated 100 points. So this guy knows what he's doing. You're going to have like kick-ass wine at this event. This is for 24 of you who are RSVP right now. Go to thewinesteward.com and sign up for this opportunity. I know a lot of you are on vacation. Some of you will be missing this, but there are enough of you in town where, I didn't even dare to do summertime events in the past. And I realized, no, you're coming and going. There will be people in town who are going to love this. And we had to grab Todd when he's here. So the guy's usually up in Washington State. Not Wednesday. This Wednesday, June 21st, 6:30 p.m. for 24 of you, Todd Alexander himself will be representing beautiful Northwest wines. This is a wonderful opportunity, folks, and I have make no apologies whatsoever for having just done Washington State a month or two ago. This is different. This is great. We should pounce. All right? So, you know about the next event, next Wednesday night. Boom. Not giving you much notice, am I? There is that. There is this as well. I'm going to sip this, but I'm going to put off talking about it. I've talked about it before, but let's tell you about a couple of wines that have just come in that are opportunities for you. In fact, here's an opportunity that I described before that I didn't think I'd be describing ever again. But we've had a very, very nice time with this Pinot Noir. We thought we had bought all that was left, and then we were told there's another stash that the distributor didn't know about of this beautiful Barham Mendelssohn Pinot Noir still available. So I took all that was left, the next all that is left, of 2018 Barham Mendelssohn Russian River Pinot Noir. This was made by Jim Clendenin, who passed away only a couple years after making this particular wine. Jim Clendenin, more famous for his Au Bon Climate wines down in Santa Barbara County, was enlisted to make this near Santa Rosa, Russian River Valley Pinot Noir. And it is very much in the Clendenin style. In other words, it's not dark, it's not over the top, it's not heavy, and it's not overbearing. This is Pinot Noir as it should be. You can see through it. It's fragrant, it's beautiful, it's silky. It's also fairly affordable. It's barely over $30 per bottle, and I think you wine club members with your 10% discount off all the wines in the store enjoy it for maybe a little bit under $30. Beautiful wine. This is high alert. It is back in the store. It just came in like a half an hour ago, and I'm pleased to say that it's offered by the glass on the wine bar, and it is back on the shelf as long as we have it. I think we brought in the last 14 six-packs. I think we said something like that a couple of weeks ago, but this is really all that remains of Barham Mendelssohn Russian River Pinot Noir, as made by now deceased, but one of the great Santa Barbara County wine pioneers, Jim Clendenin of Au Bon Climate. So it's kind of a side project of Au Bon Climate, made by Mr. Clendenin himself. Voila. Let's go in a totally different direction and tell you a white wine. We recently sat down with Tom Kelly. Tom Kelly has appeared on our mezzanine every July for the last probably 8 Julys. I think maybe the pandemic interrupted that sequence a little bit. But Tom Kelly will be back this July. I don't have the date for you yet. I think it's mid-late July, just so you know. And we tasted many wines, mostly from Italy, with Tom in order to choose wines for that event. Well, what else did he pull out of his bag? This is not from Italy. This is from an area called Saint-Mont. Saint-Mont is in southwest France, very near the Pyrenees. You can see the Pyrenees Mountains from here. That's the natural boundary between France and Spain. And you have this appellation that we've never represented on our shelf before, that I had never even heard of before. I've been in this area once, and when I smelled this particular wine, of which I need to try some right now, that's not it. I just had to say a fond farewell to that beautiful sparkling wine from Rioja. This Saint-Mont from France is made of grapes you probably aren't too familiar with. The one that you might have heard of is Gros Manseng. The other two, good luck. Petit Corbu and Arufiac are also in here. Wow, that's exciting, isn't it? I wouldn't know what that is. Well, these are grapes that are often grown in nearby Gascony. In fact, you could probably call this a part of Gascony, but it is its own appellation called Saint-Mont. As you can see by the audacious sticker on there, Decanter Magazine gave this white wine that we're selling for $20.49, 95 points. Yay! I have to burp. It's the doggone sparkling wine. No, I will restrain myself. Wow, this is exotic. This is fleshy. It's no oak at all, but it's a little bit of time has given it some development of roundness. You have in one wine nerve and richness, not oak richness, not richness that's going to get in the way of refreshment, But I think anybody who cooks, anybody who goes to the kitchen and works on a recipe will wonder, what can I do with this? Especially when you taste it. This is that kind of wine. You are going to get really excited when you have this wine that has some body and yet some nerve at the same time. This is, again, from Saint-Mont, France, southwest France. What's the nearest place you might have heard of? How about Irulagi? Yeah, you know that one. How about Mataran? Maybe you know that one. Anyway, it's down there, almost Spain. 3 white grapes that you may or may not have heard of before. This is fun. This is why the wine steward's here. We got the last 3 cases available. Basically, when we met with Tom Kelly to choose that Italian wine event, we said, we got to pour this wine, Tom. He was very excited. He said, look, man, Decanter loved it. Now you try it, Jim. And we loved it. And yes, we're going to do this at the event. And then he looked up the inventory and he said, oh, there's 3 cases left. Well, that's not going to last until then, not till mid-late July. I grabbed the last 3 cases. They're here now. It won't be in the event. This is the event. Do it now. Get in on this really cool wine. All right. Now, let's tell you very briefly about what's going on the wine bar this weekend. Briefly, because I'm not going to go through all the wines this time. I've spent enough time telling you about next week's wine event with Todd Alexander, the winemaker of Cult Style 100-point quality wine. Let's just abbreviate and say that, hey, wine club members, all how many hundreds and hundreds of you, your June wines are now ready to pick up. So this is June, right? Yes, June. June wines are ready to pick up. We've got them all ready for you. They've all been delivered. They're all there. So come and get them. And in the meantime, head upstairs to the mezzanine where you can taste in our flights many of the wine club wines. And whenever they're not a present wine club wine, maybe they're a past wine club wine or a wine that we're considering for wine club. So in other words, it's all very wine clubby as a theme for the wine bar. Except for this. This is the sparkling wine I keep being drawn to. This is from Rioja. I'm just saying that we got more of it. This is sparkling wine from Rioja that they choose to not call Cava de Obriga. I get to visit these guys. This is special and smart Brut Nature from Rioja. I'm just saying it's back. And here's the proof. I really like this wine. With each bottle I have, and I've had several, I like this wine even better. So it grows on me instead of my getting tired of it. Now, on the white flight, we have, of course, wine club wines in the form of this and that. I'm not even going to elaborate. Just come on up and enjoy a white flight that has something to do with our wine clubs. There's beautiful rosé by the glass, and there's beautiful Pinot Noir by the glass. I did mention that one already. That's the Barra Mendelssohn Pinot Noir made by, rest in peace, Jim Clendon. The red flight is all wine club wines. There is a Rioja there that was in the wine club a few months ago, but everything else in that 5 wine flight is present wine club wine, whether in our Tuesday night wine club, which we've renamed, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, or our wine adventure wine club. And I want to bring that one up for you in particular. Here is the 3rd club installment, in other words, the 3rd vintage of this particular wine by a very small producer in the Northern Rhone that we've brought to the Wine Adventure Wine Club. This is by Sylvain Badel. It is made in Collines Brodanienne, which is a kind of a Côte-d'Aron kind of a appellation or non-appellation appellation of the Northern Rhone of France. So where they make much more expensive Syrah called Côte-Rôtie and Hermitage, Saint-Joseph, Cornas, and so on, this is from vineyards that are just like over the fence across the road and cannot be called by one of those fancier names. Therefore, it fetches a lower price. This means value for you and me. Here we go. We want to pour this in this kind of a glass right here, a fat glass. This is a demonstration not just of a very, very good wine, but of a wine feature. I want you to not call this a wine fault, but a wine feature. If it was a wine fault, we would not be putting it in your class or your club. But this particular bottle has a propensity for something called reduction. You know, we see a lot of wine reps. They come upstairs with their wine bags. They show me fantastic wines. And I get excited about this and this and this. And we could talk about a lot of different things. One thing many of our wine vendors are reluctant to talk about is the feature of reduction, because they don't really know what that means. I'm going to tell you what it means, and you will now be smarter than many of our wine vendors. Here you go. When a wine is intentionally made without much exposure to oxygen, certain grape varieties are especially prone to producing, once you actually pull the cork on those bottles and put them in a glass, a quality called reduction. Reduction has to do with the wine basically not being able to see much air during the winemaking process compared to other ways of winemaking. So it's been deprived of air. If you do that with Tempranillo, if you do it with Syrah, if you do it with Mencia, and there's a few other grapes that are especially prone to reduction, when you pour them finally in a glass, they finally get their first gasp of air. Like, well, what do? They make a stinky thing. They make the wine, your first impression, aromatic impression, really, really farty, let's say. Now, that's reduction. If you didn't know about reduction as a consumer or even a wine vendor, you might say, that wine sucks, because you are correctly smelling your wine. I want you to smell your wine, but you're assessing too quickly. I want you to, upon smelling something like rotten egg or something, let's just say poopy. We can say poopy, it's all right. When you smell that, please give the wine a time of the day. In other words, swirl it. Give it a lot of that. This has reduction, I promise you. But I'm excited about this because reduction is actually a quality, it's an intentional winemaking feature that will keep the wine longer. In fact, we can open this one day on the wine bar and keep serving this wine for 1 or 2 more days because of reduction. The wine has been so protected. Yes, it smells, it's a little stinky at first, but we will advise everybody, put it in a big glass. This glass is like your decanter, really. Wave it around. And then finally, here comes the Northern Rhone. The poopiness is gone, and you get these crazy qualities of Northern Rhone Syrah that are maybe also unusual to you. But you Northern Rhone fans know what I mean when I say black olive and cured meat and white and black pepper and violets and blackberry. This, I tell you what, if you're into Northern Rhone red wine, which is always Syrah, you know what it costs to drink a great Saint-Joseph or a great Co-Roti. This is the dirty little secret of the Northern Rhone. Things from the Collines Rhodanienne, kind of the Côte de Rhone of the Northern Rhone, beautiful value. We're bringing in one wine after another from there that has nothing more exceptional to say as far as place than Collines Rhodanienne. It's somewhere on it. It's like, no, it's on the back label. I'll show that to you when you come in the store. I'm just saying, this wine, which is going to the Wine Adventure Wine Club this month, is reductive. That's a good thing, and all we ask is for you to reveal the wine's true essence by giving it a swirl or two. It's a fun thing to see a wine go from one thing to the next. That's beautiful. I think, in other words, you get 2 wines in one. Beautiful. Elegant, finessed. I swallowed it. Thank you very much for watching yet another Wine Steward video. We hope to see you next Wednesday night. I know I didn't give you much time. There was not much of a lag time for signing up, but I know some of you are in town. You want to come to this. You want to meet this dude. You want to taste these wines. They're going to be fantastic. Thank you again for everything you do with the Wine Steward. We will see you soon.